Okay, I'm a little late to the computer because I was in the shower, but it's 9:37, bell rung not too long ago. Let me switch this back to a 1 minute. So we're reaching our previous high and looks like we're bouncing there, but again, I need this to drop lower. Uh, Ironically, that previous high is about the same as 4160 on ES. And a little bit below that. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to adjust the my SM my hold on. Let me do this really quick. I don't know why this is coming out so damn small. What is going on, man? This is so annoying, man. Okay. Daily. 200 DMA. Lower that a little bit. And 50 DMA. Let's do the same for. Oh wait, let me move this back to 15. Although I have this, I need to plug in my iPad. And this one, daily. Although this one crossed finally. I wonder if this is like an official meaning that the bear market has ended or something. I don't know. But the move yesterday was so significant. Usually I don't have to move these very much, but just shows how significant of a move this yesterday's rally is. And look where we started. Look, this is just how much. This shows you how much of a gap we've increased. Which again, I would like to see this drop down to 410 and then rally, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. All right, let's move this back to 5 and get this out of the way. And I gotta get a charger for my iPad soon. Sometimes what I've done, no, sometimes what I keep thinking, oh, this is what I should have done, but I never do it and I always forget, is usually after a rally like this, sometimes if you take a put swing, although it would have burned you from yesterday to today, or taking it short the next day because you're expecting a bit of a cool off. But generally after FOMC, and especially when we haven't actually hit any kind of resistances, that's a risky move. If we hit or peaked above like a major resistance, like a trend line, then that would make sense, but not so much here. So the way I gather MK strategy to work, kind of what I figured out is if on a 5-minute candle we form, let me show an example here. This is a clean example here. We form a clean level and that level gets retested, although technically it went below here. So this was the first clean level, but then it retested below. And this is where I got in. To me, that looked like a very clean level, but unfortunately, you know, typically the way options work, you can get in at 45 here, right? It was somewhere here because I bought my option at 1402. It's $45 here. Fast forward a half hour later, it's 20 here. And you know what? Let me say something really quick. And I was venting about this yesterday and it irritated me so much. That was on Tuesday. Tuesday we kind of rallied and I was so frustrated by that. On Tuesday, I got in shortly after the market opened, but it dropped. It dropped and I sold for a loss. But the drop was, how do I put it? I think I got in at like 60 something dollars and then end up selling at a loss at like 40 something dollars. So that's how much money was lost from the call option from this movement down. Okay, from like it was almost like $69 to $42, $43, something like that. So it was a pretty big loss because I got two options from this little move. So from, I don't know which one it was, but let's just say it was a top 402 to 401 to 400. So a 2-point move. Then yesterday I got in shortly after the market opened here at 406 and then sold at 404. So another 2 point move. But my option went from like 115 to I think 106 or something like that. It was like a $9 loss. And I was just blown away by how a similar move the day before, and both options are on the day of expiration. So it made no sense. And this strike was further out. This was the 410 strike that I used yesterday, okay? But on Tuesday, when we were at 400, the strike I used was 404. So again, it was a closer strike price, and yet it lost value on the same drop much more. I'm talking like almost 50% of the value. It was $69 and it dropped down to the low 40s. So at least 40%, 30 something percent value was lost in that little drop on my option. Whereas here, from here to here, from 406 to 404, again, a 2 point drop, and my strike was at 410, so it's further out. The drop was slight, very, very slight. So I don't know. Options annoy me because they don't seem to be consistent. They don't seem to make sense. And you would think that, I don't know, you know what though? I've noticed on FOMC days, there are times where the price goes down, and I've actually seen the option value for a call go up, even though the price is dropping. I never forget, I think it was a December or something, where I was looking at a strike, a call strike, and even though SPY was going down, the option was actually increasing in value. It made no sense to me whatsoever. The price was going down, the option was slightly chopping down, but then I guess what I'm saying is it dipped down to 1 point earlier, dipped down lower later on. It was like an hour later, the price dipped to a lower point, but the option was worth more on that price dip than it was on a previous price dip that was not as severe, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining it properly. So yeah, options, they frustrate me because they're very erratic and seem to make no sense. All right, we have formed, I know I'm supposed to wait till 10:30 based on MK strategy, but this is a very clean supply zone here on a 15. And of course it also shows on the 5 minute. And we are pulling back. So this is what I was saying before. Imagine if you had a fat account and money wasn't that big a deal. So you can pick a close to the money strike, and you assume that after today's rally and after the rally in the pre-market, we're going to have a cool off, and you decide to get in 10 options in the first candle. So I don't know, let's say you get the worst one, you get 800, whatever this is. Let me see if I can zoom this into a 1 minute. Okay, I guess you wouldn't have gotten that bad. Let's say you got 65 in the first candle. You did market buy 10 options and you were holding. And let's say you're targeting this, the previous high, and you could have sold for, I don't know, a couple $100 profit. I mean, personally for me, if I had a fat account, I'll be content, making 5-10%. If that 5-10% equals $100-200 for the day, and walk away, I can survive off that. That's fine for me. But unfortunately, I don't have a fat account. I'm broke. So we're going to see if we can get to 4140 on ES, or 410 on SPY before we try and take it long. But yeah, again, if you had confidence that we're going to get a cool off or a gap fill this morning, and we believe that it's going to start to go down, yeah, definitely taking it long. 10 options on the first, or I guess I could have done one option, and maybe if I was lucky, get in at 60 and just sell it at 10. but looks like we're already bouncing up. It looks like 4160 is the bounce level for now. Wow, this is quite the bounce back. And on a 5-minute, we're forming, looks like a clean demand zone for now. But yeah, this is a pretty strong return. What was the option I was going to be using again? I think it was 417. Yeah. Let's see what happens when it gets up to here, though. This clean supply had formed. If it breaks through this, though, and breaks through the overnight high, then there's pretty much a good chance this is going to rally. Oh my god, I can't think of this right now. One thing too is I hate trading so much that I just want to make the money quickly and just get out. So if I saw this coming up and we recovered this previous high, I probably would have gotten long at maybe 50, 500 if I had the money, 500, and then just try and sell at 70 if we can get up there. Although where would 70 be? I don't want to mess around with this because this might spike up and I end up buying $70 worth of a call option and then losing it when it drops from the supply. But I would estimate that if this can get above or close to supply, this would be 70. Sorry, I don't sleep well. I'm hungry and my head is pounding. And I'm still so distraught about yesterday's missed opportunity that I'm just worn out, man. Well, it looks like this didn't peak much beyond 60. So I guess if you were able to get in at 40 and you were patient and waited, but this supply still is in effect, hasn't been broken. It looks like we're forming a demand right here on the 5-minute. Oh, I do have a 5-minute here. Let me put it back to 1 minute. But you can see that we were forming a demand there on the 5-minute. If it drops below this previous high, then that demand's going to be diminished. However, if for some reason it looks like we're going to start to bounce here, then it'll be like a little tiny head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. It's a risky move, but one could probably preempt a possible bottoming here, temporary bottoming, and this might come back up to 60. So one could probably get in 10 options at 400 in the hopes that this is going to turn around and come back up to 60 to make 200 bucks. And yeah, a little mini inverse head and shoulders is beginning to form on a 1 minute candle. So look, if you got in 10 options at 40, and if you really just wanted to really do a quick scalp, you can exit here at 51 and cover your cost of commission for 10 options. But in reality, after yesterday's rally, I think it's very likely that today is just going to be a bunch of chop, unpredictable movements. Although I believe MK's strategy is advantageous here in these kind of chop situations because his strategy really is just scalping. But look, I'm going to go ahead and put it on a 5 minute. Here is what looks to be a base that has formed, a base for a demand zone. So these boxes, these squares, are supposed to be like 10 cents higher than the actual level, but since this app is so ridiculously stupid, you can see I can't even see the number. So I'm just doing a guess. But you see it's been tested, it's been created here and got tested. This didn't go much higher than 52 though. So it was risky. You could have made $100 scalp. But making $100 off of $400 investment is pretty good. What is that, 20%? 25%? Let's see if this does slowly grind its way back down to 410 though. Oh yes, I didn't even think of this. Since this was a supply zone that formed when this came up here, I could have turned this around and taken this short, since I think it might go down to 410. So when it came up here, I guess this went as low as 27, so one could have gotten in at 30 and tried to scalp to 40. But it may even go lower. And if this does make its way to 410, this should be worth about 100. I don't know, 100, about 100. I don't really know. It depends on when it gets there, because this is the day of expiration. We're about to close our first half hour, and if I change this to a 15-minute, Oh no. I was going to say it could be even, but when this candle closes, this would need to be even, and that's not happening. This is dropping lower. But this is what I'm saying about options. You see it's pushing lower, but this option's not really going up in value. Oh, it turned around. Probably that's why. It's like we're trying to bounce off this SMA. It's an interesting little battle going on here. All right, I need to start doing some other work.